Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Tim Meyer, here for the Romeo Sports Recap, powered by the Mitt TV. Remember, this show is available on both YouTube and Spotify. And before we begin, a word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and can even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. That's mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Romeo Sports Recap Show. I'm Tim Meyer, along with Romeo Varsity hockey coach Matt Burke. And Matt, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You guys are having a pretty successful season out there. Had a couple of, first game on last Friday night, pretty good against Lake Orion. You guys hung in there and came out with the victory. And then the tie, you actually had to not come back, but you had a tie with Lake Orion into overtime and everything. And
with Chip, yeah.
With Chippewa Valley, Dakota Unified, right? That's correct, yeah. And so give me a little idea of kind of how's it going with the team this year and your thoughts and feelings about how they're come together.
I mean, I thought we've had some ups and downs, but overall pretty good. In the MAC, we just rewrite our own destiny in there. It depends how we do, obviously, against Ike and Lance Cruz. But, we've been taking care of business. I think that, I think like Brody just said, I think our best games are, still in front of us. I think that we played some good hockey, but I definitely think that when we all come together and play how I know we could play, we'll do just fine. But right now we're just focused on, the end of the year, the games we got remaining. Obviously Ike twice, Lance Cruz, and then Port Huron Northern. And, we just want to focus on that, try to do as best we can to finish the MAC, and then the regional playoff run should be fun too.
What kind of stood out for you this year is something that you'll probably not forget for a long time, but any kind of moment that stood out or any game or something that stood out?
I mean, no, I can't really think of anything that's what I talked to the other MAC coaches, and the MAC we're all pretty tight-knit, which is kind of cool for the coaches and stuff. But I think the MAC has been, very competitive this year for as long as I can remember it. For the regionals, we're going to have us, Ike, Anchor Bay, Chip, Utica, and it's kind of fun. All of us get to, when we see each other at, the coaches' meetings and stuff like that, we can talk. And I think we're all just kind of excited. We all know that everyone's got a horse in this and, anyone can win. So that's kind of cool. And it's honestly, it's pretty good for the MAC going forward in general. We want to get that as strong as possible. So I would say that stood out just in general of the MAC, that it's getting stronger. But, we've had some good games. I think that we're trying to play as better we can down the stretch, because towards the end of the season you want to start playing good hockey. I know De La Salle beat us up, was a little bit of a wake-up call.
Yeah, what did I think 7-1, I think it was, and but what sort of happened in that game that you think happened? I
mean, we didn't play for 2 weeks, so we're kind of flat. It was 0-0 after one, and I'm thinking, okay, we got our legs, but they want it. They're a good team, they wanted it. They came out hard. I give them credit. I think if we played them again, it'd be a lot different. But, I think that we were just flat, with the scheduling, sometimes how it goes. You'll play 3 games in a week, and then you'll play 1 game in a week, and then you don't play for 2 weeks. So that was kind of on me a little bit. But I thought that, how we responded versus Lake Orion, I thought we played well.
And they're pretty good. They're a pretty good team with some good size on that team.
Yeah, I mean, they're
even the goalie.
Yeah. I know their record isn't great, but their schedule's tough, and you can't take them lightly. And I thought that they played pretty hard. They got up on us, and then Chip, obviously, like you said, they were up 2-0 on us as well. So we got to find a way to start better, But as the game goes on, I feel like we do get better, and it's coming to the stretch here. So now we just got to focus up and make the practices worth as much as we can, and we got to play hard going down the stretch when we play Eisenhower and Lance Cruz because they're both good teams. So
and Eisenhower, have a tradition of having a good side. Strong hockey program there. Bob Hall was there for a long time, but they got new coaches now. But when you go up against Eisenhower, and it is like an in-town rivalry almost.
Yeah,
they're from the south, you're from the north, and you're not that far apart. And even some of the kids, are neighbors. Maybe some kids that go to Eisenhower.
Yeah.
What do you have to do as a coach to get them ready to play like a rival like that?
I mean, sometimes those games are like the easiest for the coaches because we don't have to do too much because we know what it means. Like we know the magnitude of that game, especially this year where it's pretty much going to dictate who wins the MAC Red. But we share a wall with them. Our locker rooms are right next to each other. We see them every single day. I got a lot of respect for Ike, especially Bob Hall, who started it all. I think he did a great job. And now that Dave's over there, Dave Irwin, the coach, he is doing a good job, and they're tough. It's going to be a good game. I expect both teams to go out there and play hard. And I would never bet against my guys. Our Romeo guys, they work hard. They want it. They want it just as much as I want it. I got 10 seniors on the team that all want it. As a coach, it's the game where I got to, give some motivational speeches and, tell them go out there and work, but the seniors will take over and, our juniors like Brody, he'll take over. And I think it's just they're going to be pumped up, ready to go. I think that's a game that, you don't got to say too much.
You have to say too much. Well, yeah, the competitive juices are
you have
falling.
To.
The rivalry.
Right, you have to.
The rivalry juices should be falling. Has anybody surprised you this year with their performance? Or a couple players that maybe you thought, wow, they did kind of come along.
Yeah. I thought Cam Lucas has been playing really well. I thought he stepped up. He started kind of as like a fourth line guy, and he's made his way up. He's worked really hard. He's been playing on the penalty kill too. I think Joey Laporte has stepped up too, and it's those guys that give us the depth. It's like we have our top 3, top 4, but when you get those guys that, give you some depth in the second and third line, that's huge.
Yeah, Lucas seems like he's just not afraid to stick his nose into anything.
Yeah, no, I love. He works hard.
And Joey's pretty good skater, really. I didn't realize how fast he was.
He can fly off the ice. The only guy that might be faster than him is probably Jules, but he can fly, when he wants to. So I just got to keep telling him, go wide. He wants to cut the middle, like, go wide. Go wide. You're fast, go wide, and that's kind of old school thing, beat him with the speed. But, yeah, we've had a lot of pleasant surprises, I wouldn't say Landon surprised me, but being the only goalie, I was kind of like, how's this going to work out? But he's been phenomenal.
Well, he's getting all the action, so
he's been good.
So it's a lot of muscle memory and a lot of experience seeing pucks and things like that. That helps a lot.
For sure.
And especially he doesn't have to worry about not wearing a face mask, so that's a good thing. Not like the old days. Yeah, he's done a fantastic job. He's stopped over 500 shots or around 500 shots.
Yeah, it's obviously not a stat that I love because it's like we're giving up shots, but we'll keep him to the outside, and he can get those easy ones. We try to take care of the front of the net best we can, so those high, those shots that have high potential to go in, we can, get a stick on him or block him. But he's, he does well. He tracks the puck well. And,
good catching hand too.
Yeah, no, he's got good size. He's got a lot of ability. He's got a lot of upside too.
Yeah. Where do you see this team going in the postseason? What do you really think? You got to get through the MAC tournament, but
yeah, the MAC tournament's going to be fun. I think this is the first year where they're kind of like combining like the 2 divisions, and there'll be like one MAC champion that the coaches decided for this year, which will be fun. Like I said, all the coaches talk about it. We all think that we can win it, and that's good. You got to be confident. It'll be fun for us. The cool thing is the MAC tournament's at home, and then the regionals is at home. I expect us to do well. I expect us to fight to the end for the MAC, and then no matter what happens, we're going to reset, and then regionals is something that we really want to focus on. I got some seniors on this team. I know Julian and Dylan, Drew, Lincoln, if they win, this would be their third regional now. I mean, that's 3 out of 4 years it's impressive. Not many people can say that. To win 2 is nice. Out of 4 years. But if we go there, it'll be 3 for those guys, and that's important. And hopefully that we need those guys to be playing our best. When we play it, but. I think it's wide open. I think that obviously I think we're the favorites, but I think that everyone's good. I think Anchor Bay is really good. They're playing really good. Joe does a good job. Ike and Chip, we kind of already talked about them. I think that they're really good. So it'll be fun. Honestly, it'll be fun. I'm happy we get to play it at home. Happy we get the locker room. But the best team will definitely win. Whoever wins that region will represent the MAC well. I think for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I appreciate you stopping by, Coach, and we're going to talk to some of those players you were just talking about and get their thoughts about the season.
Thanks, Tim.
We'll be right back after this.
Before we continue, here on the Romeo Sports Recap Show, a word from our sponsors.
This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and can even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. That's mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. Now back to the show. And welcome back to the Romeo Sports Recap. I'm here with Romeo varsity hockey player Brody Meyer. And Brody, thanks for being on the show today.
Of course.
Tell me a little bit about hockey. Why did you start playing hockey? Play football, you play baseball, but why hockey?
I played hockey when I was younger, and it was just a sport that I've always been interested in, and I've always liked it.
How would you describe your game out there on the ice?
Fast and quick-paced.
Yeah, you're out there going that fast, and you get hit a few times. I mean, has anybody ever hit you pretty solid, and you go like, "Oh, I didn't see that coming"?
I got good awareness though, but I get hit every now and then.
Okay, when you got the puck in your hand or on your stick, what are you thinking? I mean, if you got the puck and you're in the opposing zone,
just get my head up, either get a shot on net or move the puck to someone else.
And your line mates mostly are who?
Like Julian and Chase. Those are my 2 line mates.
And those guys seem to create a lot of havoc out there. And the way you guys are playing, I mean, when you're coming in on a breakaway, because you sometimes get those, and you're closing, say you're going over the blue line, what's going through your mind? What are you looking for?
Just reading the goalie mostly. You can't really make any final decisions. It's got to be just based on what the goalie's doing.
Do you trust your hands to make the decision for you?
Sometimes, but then I'll just trust my shot.
What's your best move? Is it a toe drag, or what do you think the best move you have?
I would say pull to my backhand and go back to the forehand and go around the guy or something like that.
Yeah. We were on a team last year.
Mm-hmm.
Compare last year's team to this year's team.
Last year's team was special. We made a good run. We had a good game against CC in the first half, and then they just played better than us in the second half. And then this year, I would say we're very similar. We haven't played our best game yet either, so we still got a lot left to play.
And how has hockey helped you in your other sports?
It's made me become tougher and just be mentally better, because hockey is you need to be mentally there in order to be able to play good.
Yeah, you got to be awake, because otherwise you'll find yourself flat on the ice.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But even made you tougher even in football.
Yeah, I would say so.
And when did you start noticing that?
I'd say freshman year. Freshman year is when I noticed that hockey was a little more demanding than football.
What do you think? What do you think you want to do when you grow up?
I don't know yet. Sports have always been one of my things, but I always need to have other options too. I think about getting into marketing or business, just something like that.
Has anybody, any colleges contacted you at all, or we?
Mainly just baseball. I go to camps and just stuff over the summer, put my name out there for these guys to look at me.
Yeah. Did you? It was. I guess. What's the biggest part of your game in baseball?
Definitely the infield, my quick hands, and getting to the ball, making a good play. I'd say that's my major contribute.
How about hitting?
Mainly just singles, doubles, and just getting on base.
Getting on base.
Letting the guys behind me move me around and get me in.
So, what do you think about playing on that new field this year?
Oh, it's gonna be so fun.
It's. I don't know if I don't know until I see it, but is the ball going to be faster coming to you or?
They tried to make the turf like grass, so I don't know what it's gonna be like yet, but I assume it's still gonna be quick since it's turf.
When are you guys going to practice on it?
Right, as soon as we can. We're gonna try to get out there. I'd say early March, late February.
What does Brody Meyer like to do when Brody Meyer's not playing hockey? Obviously, you're not chasing the women, so you don't have any time.
I like to work out and go to the gym. I like to eat well and spend time with my family.
Yeah. Any favorite TV shows or online?
I'll play some video games every now and then. I'll play with my friends at night or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And what do you like about this team this year?
I like we got guys, they seem to work better together, and these guys seem really well connected.
I did notice you guys, you do pass the puck around a little bit.
Yes.
It's not it's not one guy grabs it, that superstar guy, and just from one end to the other.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you have a couple guys that are capable of doing that, but everybody seems to be looking for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an accurate statement?
Yes, we're always trying to make a play.
What do you think has the hardest shot on the team?
I'd say Dylan or Drew.
Yeah. And what is it? Is it wrist shot hard or just you don't do much slap shot because
I would say Noah has the hardest slap shot, but just getting it off quick, I'd say Drew and Dylan have a really good shot.
Yeah. And what do you expect how do you expect to finish this year out?
We expect to win these next two games against Ike and beat Lance Cruz and go on to win the MAC and win our region and beat CC and go even further.
Yeah, that'll be the big hump. But they're not unbeatable.
Nope.
Right? They're only flesh and blood like you guys. So, and do you think you're faster than CC or you?
I would say they're more developed than most of us on the team, but I think we could put up a fight if we gave it our all.
Well, never give up, right?
Yep.
Well, I appreciate you being on the show, Brody, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Of course.
And good luck putting the biscuit in the basket.
Thank you.
Okay,
all
thanks. Right. We'll be back with more Romeo hockey players right after this.
Before we continue, here on the Romeo Sports Recap Show, a word from our sponsors.
This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and can even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. That's mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. Now back to the show. Welcome back to the Romeo Sports Recap Show. I'm Tim Meyer, and I'm here with a couple of Romeo varsity hockey players. I'm here with Dylan Abasha and Julian Gatinsky. And gentlemen, thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
And Dylan, we had your brother on the show earlier in the season, Drew, and it's hard to tell you guys apart, but except for you got different numbers.
Yeah, it is. I mean, every day we get who's who, or are you Drew, or are you Dylan? It's every single day.
Well, when you're, I guess, tell them the difference between your two games, the way you guys play. What would you say the differences would be?
I mean, Drew. I used to play goalie back in the day. Drew is I would say he's a little bit faster, a little bit quicker. His hands are a little bit quicker. Um, I mean, that's tough for me to say. We're twins, and it's very competitive. But I mean, in 5 years, if it wasn't for him, I don't think I'd be like
Playing?
as good as I was.
Oh, yeah, because you guys are always competing against each other.
Yes.
Well, you got the big one against, what was it, Chippewa Valley,
Yep.
Dakota combined team, after you got a penalty. And you must have been pretty mad at yourself because
Yeah, I was mad.
you really were like a possessed person towards the end of that game and just
Yeah.
would not be denied. So that was a great goal. It was a little to the backhand. You went to the backhand. You're on the ice and right.
Yep, backhand. It was just slid right under the pad.
Yeah. Hey, it goes in the net. It goes in the net. It
That was
counts.
a goal.
Yeah. And Julian, you're a senior this year,
Yep.
and you are the guy that coach puts out there when he wants to put gasoline on the fire. It looks like the way you come off the bench and just start skating around. How instinctively do you know like where you're going? Like, how do you, because you could go crazy and go everywhere.
Yeah. I usually tend to just go everywhere and try to get that puck, try to get in our possession.
You're looking for the puck.
Yeah.
And got your nose in the puck.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you had a pretty good season so far this year. You scored a few goals. I noticed you had a move. You seem to like to go to the top shelf a little bit. Is that something you worked on in practice?
I kind of like to just work on everything. I like to start on my left side and put the puck on the right side and kind of flick it over their shoulder. That's usually my go-to, but recently it hasn't really been working out. Like my last game, I just got a goal against Chippewa. I was in the crease and got grease. It was like grease in the crease, I guess.
Yeah, so you were just kind of, it went in, it was tough working.
Yeah.
And sort of working man's garbage goal, maybe, would you say? Yeah.
Yeah, but goal's a goal.
Goal, it all counts in the score sheet, right? When you're out there,
Yep.
and somebody hits you pretty good,
Mm-hmm.
do you get their number?
I try to, but usually no one really is paying attention, and I do look for it, but most of the time I don't end up retaliating.
Yeah.
I like to keep my cool on the ice, play a calm, collected game.
Well, that's good because that'll keep you out of the box. And speaking
Yeah.
of the box, you and your brother
know.
you're like Wolverines out there. They're not the biggest out there, but man, it bites you in the ankle and go at you. Not
Yeah.
afraid. Does coach talk to you about sometimes the penalties?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a one guy down. Nobody wants one guy down, especially at the end of the game. And that game versus Dakota. I mean, I when I got that penalty, and we had a power play. I was down on myself, but got go back and go score a goal.
How about it when you're handling the puck? What are you looking for? You get the pass. What are you kind of looking at?
Well, before when I get the puck, the first thing I do is look up. I look up, and the second thing I start moving my feet. And well, since I'm a winger, I do play on the left side. I mean, I hit my brother across the ice, where I flip it up for that bounce pass, and then I see Lincoln in the middle of the ice, just move it to them and get the puck up the ice.
How's Lincoln? He's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy too that's not afraid to go in the corners and muck it up a bit.
Yeah.
And he's, I don't know, is he big? He's not taller than you, is he?
No, I mean me, Drew, and Lincoln were all the same height.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing to do when you're off the ice? What do you guys like to do?
Uh, in the summer, probably fish. That's probably what my favorite habit to do or hobby to do in the summer.
What kind of fish you usually catch?
Usually bass and bluegill pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah, good eating fish.
Yeah.
How about you, Dylan?
Well, since we just turned 18, we went to the casino. I've been doing that recently.
You got any money left?
No, I actually don't.
Doesn't I do?
What are you doing? The sports book or what?
No, just just blackjack and Texas Hold'em.
Yeah.
It's cold outside. That's like what everybody's doing right now. It's getting big.
Mhm.
Well, I did hear something about betting, about at least football betting. The bookies have been losing
Oh,
money
yeah.
Oh yeah.
this year. So if you're betting on sports, football might not be too bad. You can't bet on the Lions, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
you never can do that. What about school? What about subjects in school? Is there something you want to study? Is there something you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do?
I like to stick towards hockey and like I'm kind of like into like the medical field, so like a sports athletic trainer would be pretty cool.
Like Kayla.
Yeah, kind of like what Kayla does. Like that'd be kind of like my dream job. Like that's a
Oh.
really cool position.
Have you talked to her about it?
No, but like starting of like this next semester, I'll be working with her, and that'll be like a really cool opportunity
Oh,
too.
that's good. Yeah, she's very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
Very good at what she does. How about you, Dylan? What do you say?
School is definitely not one of my first things I go to. I mean,
It's not one of your first things.
I
It's a good thing coach isn't a teacher.
yeah, after school in school I'm doing the hospitality culinary pathway.
Okay, little chef.
And what I'm doing after school, I'm going to barber school. I'm going to be a barber.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I haven't been to a barber. I go to Lady Jane's, and I've had a female cut my hair for almost 30 years now. But I used to go to a barber, but I don't know if it's the same or what, or I don't know. Mostly men haircuts. I guess guys go to barbers still.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
A hair cutter and a trainer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, that's good. What do you guys think about how you're going to do the rest? Let's talk about the rest of the season. You got a couple games left, and then the tournament. How you feeling about that?
Definitely feeling like really good about it. There's some tough teams left in our schedule, but I think we can come out undefeated in those games as long as we're consistent and just keep doing what we're doing, what we did in the past. I think we can definitely win all our games here.
And Dylan, what do you think you have to do in these next couple of games that are coming up to get into that tournament?
I mean, these teams, you make one mistake and they pick up on it. I think we gotta capitalize on our mistakes, bear down on our chances. I think we gotta put that puck in the net.
Yeah, can you think you can do that?
I'll try my best.
Yeah, okay.
I'm feeling really confident.
Yeah.
Those
I mean,
upcoming games.
You have good goaltending.
Yeah, very good.
He's pretty good goaltender back there. So as long as you guys can give him a little bit of a lead, I think he can keep you into a few games, right?
Mhm.
So who, in your eyes, on your team, who kind of stands out the most on your team, besides you guys?
Um,
Go first.
Probably Brody Meyer. He's just a grinder. He bears down low. He gets some goals. He's always working. He's a
Yeah,
triathlete.
But he doesn't know any pretty girls in school. What do you think, Dylan?
I think Chase. What's his last name?
Lavrel.
Lateral, yeah.
Chase. Yeah, he stands out. I mean, senior year, I think he's gonna be.
You
pretty
think he's
good.
going to come up big for you guys here
Oh yeah.
in the playoffs?
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Anybody coming back off an injury that it's now firing on all cylinders, or?
Laporte's looking good on in practice, flying out there, putting the puck in the net, doing what he's supposed to.
Well, okay, guys. So we wish you luck in the playoffs, the rest of the season, and we'll be at the game. I think we'll be at the Eisenhower game. We'll be at some of those games anyway.
Thank you.
And like I say, I hope you guys have a great rest of the year.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
We'll be back with game highlights right after this.
Before we continue, here on the Romeo Sports Recap Show, a word from our sponsors.
This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and can even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. That's mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. Now back to the show. Welcome back to the Romeo Sports Recap. We promised you some hockey highlights, and we're going to get some right now with the Romeo Bulldogs facing off against the Dakota Chippewa Valley Unified team. And let's take a look at those highlights. Looks really good for Dakota early as they kind of got a lot of pressure on, and they score the game's first goal right there. And Romeo unable to kind of clear the zone. And that led to a goal by the Dakota Chippewa Unified team. And, we move more in to the period. We've got Romeo would get a penalty called on them. Still, I don't think Romeo had their legs in the game. So if we go to that next one at 8 minutes. And you see Julian Katinsky trying to do some good forechecking along with Lujax, and he just gets the stick between the legs of the Dakota player. He goes down, and it's a power play again for the Chippewa Dakota team. And we're going to see that power play right now, 17-13. And number 77, Christian Peeknick, whips his screenshot. He gets the pass back, and he sees his man's in front of the net, and he just whips bad. Landon Donovan did not even see that. He had no chance on that one, making that save. And it's 2-0, Chippewa and Dakota Unified team, and Romeo nothing. Romeo a little bit stunned there for the moment. And so as we go to 1902, Romeo trying, guys are trying to get a good play in defensive end. And Joe Volpe avoids a check, gets a good shot on goal, but playing the pipe really tight there is the Dakota Chippewa goalie, and it's no score. And we'll move to the next highlight, which is 27-42, I guess. After much hard work in the zone by Romeo, and they get a good shot here. Julian Katinsky standing on the doorstep, cleans up the garbage, puts it home, and Romeo is on the board. Good job by Julian. He's always all over the ice, that guy. And we moving into the second period with a 2-1 score as we go to 41-47. You see a nice flurry of saves by Landon D'Angelo. Look at him. He's just flopping all over the place. Finally grabs the puck, smothers it, and keeps it 2-1. And number 42-55, again, Landon D'Angelo with a great save here. And it leads to a, look at the save there. Romeo goes to the corner, clears it out, and they see Cormac Young is wide open up the middle. They get the puck to him, and Cormac makes no mistake about it. He puts it behind the Dakota goaltender and makes it 2-2. Romeo all tied up now, and that's how the period would end. Oh, got one more play. 47-12, we got Cameron Lucas carrying into the zone. Passes to Michael Degenfelder, who slides it across to Xander Lukai, and they can't put it in. And then the period would end with the score tied up at 2. And we go into the third period at 1 minute 30. Landon D'Angelo comes up with a big save on this breakaway. And they see the puck. Here's Dakota Chip clearing it, and they're going to find their man up there. And we'll go to the next highlight with 109.30. See Landon here with a big save. There's a breakaway coming in on goal. And he makes a nice big save there, smothers it up, gets the net knocked off, and Noah Sark here, not letting the guy get close to the goalie. He's elbowing him out of the way, and it was a good play. And as we go into the third period, at 1:17, Dakota would break the tie on this power play goal here by number 11, Cameron Steskowski, and tie is broken, 3-2. However, the Romeo Bulldogs would come back with 1:18-19 and tie the score. Dylan Basha with 1:35 remaining in the third. His goal ties the score right there. Nice, beautiful effort, and it forces overtime. And we go into overtime, 125-45, and you see Romeo having a chance to tie the score here. Beautiful effort here. The other side, and the Dakota Chip goalie just sprawls all over the place, and to make that save. He's a big kid. He's about 6'6", and so he can cover a lot of ground. At 129-59, Brody Meyer breaks in all alone on the goalie from Dakota Chippewa. See, and he's got some great speed. He gets a nice pass here, and there he goes. And looks like he had it, and he kind of lost an edge. He kind of made too many moves and kind of fell on his tuchus there, and lost an edge and everything. And then we go to 138-41 with a minute 9 remaining in the game. Romeo got called for a penalty, and they were able to kill it off and preserve the tie. You see at the end here a little action once you make the save is Romeo holding on. Both teams, their legs are just dead. They are dead, and they've been playing all this time, and then you see right there, not a nice little love tap there, but the game would end, and the final score would be Romeo 3 and Dakota Chippewa 3, and they did shake hands after that. So it's hockey, right? Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for joining us here on the Romeo Sports Recap. For the Mitt TV, I'm Tim Meyer saying we'll see you next time right here on the Romeo Sports Recap. So long, everyone.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to this episode of the Romeo Sports Recap Show, powered by the Mitt TV. Remember, this show is available on both YouTube and Spotify. You can subscribe to the Mitt TV YouTube page and click the notification bell to stay up to date on the latest episodes of the Romeo Sports Recap. Or you can find us on Spotify and follow our podcast, Romeo Sports Recap. From the Mitt TV, I'm Tim Meyer, signing off with a final word from our sponsors.
This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and can even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com. That's mitt.tvpodcast@gmail.com.